திருச்சிற்றம்பலம். புழியர்கோன் வெப்பொழித்த புகிலியர்கோன் கழல் போற்றி, ஆழிமிசை கல்முதப்பில் அணைந்த பிரான் அடி போற்றி, வாழித்திரு நாவலூர் வன்றொண்டர் பதம் போற்றி, ஊழிமலி திருவாத ஊரர் திருத்தாள் போற்றி. திருச்சிற்றம்பலம். Today we are going to be discussing two tiruppugaẓ songs on Ganesha. So tiruppugaẓ songs are sung by Arunagirinathar. He lived about 600 years ago in the early 1400s, and he has sung thousands of songs on Subramanian. They are called tiruppugaẓ songs. They are very rhythmic songs with very complex rhythmic patterns and complex vocabulary and constraints and all that. So these are very unique poetry in Indian languages. I don't think there is any other Indian language has such a poetry. Arunagirinathar sang songs on Subramanian, but he also has sung a few songs on Vināyaka. And today we are going to be looking at two of those songs, kaitthala niṛaigani and umbaradaru thenumani. So the kaitthala niṛaigani song, which you will see first, is a very popular song, and it is basically describing Ganesha's attributes and his some of his deeds, etc., singing Ganesha's glory. And Arunagirinathar says, I will worship that Ganesha with flowers. So that is how he sings. So we have the verses in the email, and I would, because the tiruppugaẓ songs are usually a bit long, what I will do is that I would probably have one of you read with me half the song, and another of you read with me the other half of the song. And at the end of the discussion, I will have somebody else read the first half and another person read the second half. That way everybody gets a chance. So Madhuri, since we were waiting for you, you get to open the innings.
Okay.
Kaiththala niṛaigani.
Kaiththala niṛaigani.
Yappamodu ḍavalpori.
Yappamodu ḍavalpori.
Kappiya karimugan.
Kappiya karimugan.
Naḍipēṇik. kaṭriḍum adiyavar.
Kaṭriḍum adiyavar.
puttiyi luṟaibava.
luṟaibava.
kappiya menavinai.
menavinai.
kaḍidēgum. mattamu maḍiyamum.
mattamu maḍiyamum.
Yeah. If you read the word separated version, it will be easier for you to follow. Okay. I have two versions.
Oh yeah, I think I took the wrong. Okay.
That's okay. mattamu maḍiyamum.
mattamu maḍiyamum.
வைத்திடும் அரண்மகன். மற்பொரு திரள்புய. மதயானை. மத்தள வயிறனை. உத்தமி புதல்வனை. மட்டவிழ் மலர்கொடு. பணிவேனே. So this is the first half of the song. Now we go to the second half, and we will have with Pavani. You can repeat with me. Muttamil adaivinai.
One second.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Muttamil adaivinai. Murpadu giridhanil. முற்பட எழுதிய. முதல்வோனே. முப்புறம் எரி செய்த. அச்சிவன் உரைரதம். அச்சது பொடி செய்த. அதிதீரா. அத்துயர் அதுகோடு.
அத்துயர் அதுகோடு
சுப்பிர மணிபடும்
சுப்பிர மணிபடும்
அப்புனம் அதனிடை
அப்புனம் அதனிடை
இபமாகி
இபமாகி
அக்குற மகளுடன்
அக்குற மகளுடன்
அச்சிறு முருகனை
அச்சிறு முருகனை
அக்கணம் மணமருள்
அக்கணம் மணமருள்
பெருமாளே.
பெருமாளே.
All Tiruppugaẓ songs will end with Perumale. In Thevaram you will come across the word Peruman frequently. Perumal means the same thing, Lord. So Tiruppugaẓ, all songs will end with the signature Perumale. Mostly, there are few exceptions which may end with the Thambirane or something, but mostly they will end with Perumale. So in this song, Arunagirinathar is describing Ganesha and says, I will worship you with flowers. Now we will look at the phrases and what they mean. Kaiththalam niṛaigani appamodu ḍavalpori kappiya karimuga naḍipēṇik kaṭriḍu maḍiyavar buddhiyil luṟaibava karpagam. These are all, how devotees praise Ganesha. Kaiththalam niṛaigani. Kai is hand or palm. Kaiththalam, right? In your hands, in your palm. niṛaikani. Kani in Tamil means fruit. This is describing Ganesha's form, right? Ganesha, is sitting there with a pot belly, and he will have a fruit in his trunk, and he will have modakam and other goodies that he will be eating, right? So that's what he is describing. Oh, Ganesha, who has got a lot of fruits and other eatables, right? Appam. Appam is a sweet fried stuff. Like in the north we talked of modakam, right? Modakam is different. Appam is sweet batter, deep fried. So that is we traditionally make it for all festivals in South India. So appam. So first is niṛaikani. Nirai is plenty, lot of. Kani is fruit. So a lot of fruits. Appam, which is that sweet deep fried snack. Aval. Aval is, I think in Telugu it may be called avalaki. It is flattened rice. So that is something which is traditionally used in India for those who are doing vratam. They will have aval. They will soak aval in water or in milk or whatever, and then they will eat. Pori is puffed rice. So the kani is fruit, appam is a sweet deep fried stuff, aval is flattened rice, and pori is puffed rice. So he is describing a lot of things that Ganesha eats. Kappiya. Kappu is to eat in bulk. Having if you eat, nibbling is one word where you say somebody eats very little bit at a time. That's nibbling. Then, but kappidal is more like gorging, right? When you say gorging, you take a lot of stuff and put in your mouth, that kind of thing. So Ganesha, because he's elephant faced, and as elephants will take a lot of things and put in their mouth, right? So that's how he is describing. Oh, Ganesha, who is taking a lot of fruits and appam and aval and puri, all that, and then gorging yourself, right? Eating a lot of them. Kappiya, karimugan. Karimugan means elephant faced. Mukam is Sanskritam word, means face. Kari is elephant. So there are many words for elephant in Indian languages. Because that's a very popular animal. So depending on the language, they will have different words that will describe different attributes, etc. Like in Tamil, kari is used to refer to elephant. And the logic is that karam is the hand, and among animals, elephant has the hand. Tumbikai, we call the trunk of the elephant. In Tamil, it is called tumbikai. And in other languages, Sanskritam, it may be called hastam, right? That's why it's called hasti, because it has got a hand. So karam, from karam, the elephant, the animal that has a karam, that's why it's called the kari. Karimuga is one who is having the face of an elephant. So the first phrase, kaiththalam, niṛaigani, yappamo, ḍavalpori, kappiya, karimuga, means Ganesha, who has an elephant-faced Ganesha, who eats all these things that he is having in his hand. That Ganesha, his adipēṇik. Adi is padham, feet. Pēṇi is to cherish, to worship, to love, etc. Pēṇi is that kind of a meaning. So there are devotees who cherish Ganesha and worship his holy feet. Those devotees, right? Kaṭriḍu maḍiyavar. Maḍiyavar is the devotee. Kaṭriḍu maḍiyavar is kaṭrill is to learn or to learn all the shastras, who have learned to worship, that kind of thing, right? Because they do that, and then their puttiyi luṟaibava. Buddhi is mind. So the Lord dwells in the hearts of the devotees. That's what Arunagirinathar is saying here. O Ganesha, who dwells in the hearts of the devotees who worship you. That is the meaning of that line, kaiththalam niṛaigani to puttiyi luṟaibava. The word, I've written it as puttiyil, because in Tamil pronunciation it comes as puttiyil, but often you may hear singers singing it as buddhiyil, which is also okay, because it is the word buddhi, but we also call it as putti in poetry. Because of this, Tamil, there is no ba, da, etc., depending on the context. So the first phrase is, O Ganesha, who dwells in the hearts of devotees who worship you. Karpagam is the next phrase on that. Karpagam is kalpaka. So the kalpakam is a tree that is in Devalokam. And the kalpaka vriksham that will give all the things that one wants. So Ganesha is like kalpaka vriksham who grants all the wishes of the devotees. And then, because it's poetry, the second half of the song can be put here, and then we can read the flow of the. So the flow of the verse is that kaiththalam to kaṛpaga is one part, and then the muttamu adaivinai murpada giridhanal to Perumalai is the second part. Then menavinai kadiðēgum. That's how we can fill the flow of the poetry. So this is how the devotees are worshipping Ganesha. And the second half is muttamu adaivinai murpada giridhanal murpada ezhudhiya mudalvone. Muttamu is the three Tamil. I think I may have mentioned this in other context. In Tamil, traditionally they classify it into three parts or three components. Iyal Tamil, Isai Tamil, Nadaga Tamil. Iyal is all the prose and poetry. Isai is all the musical aspects. Nadagam is all the dance aspects. So Tamil traditionally is considered to consist of three components: the verbal aspects, the musical aspects, and the dance aspects. So all the three together are known as Muttamil. And the tradition is that Agastya is the one who composed the first Tamil grammar. Just as in Sanskritam, we have Panini who wrote the Sanskritam grammar. In Tamil, the traditional account is that Agastya, the sage Agastya, composed the first Tamil grammar work. And again, the tradition is that when Agastya narrated that thing, Ganesha wrote down that for him. Just as we have the Mahabharatam story where Vyasa narrates the Mahabharatam and Ganesha writes the Mahabharatam. In a similar context, the tradition is that Agastya narrates the Tamil grammar and Ganesha writes it. So Muttamil adaivinai, that is referring to the grammar of all the three Tamil. Murpadu giridhanil. Giri is the mountain. Here it refers to the Meru mountain. Murpadu means preeminent. On the preeminent mountain, which is Meru mountain, Murpada எழுதிய wrote. எழுதுதல் is to write. Mudalvone is the Lord who is the first one, the primal one. You know, the Lord is before everything, and he is also the first of everybody, right? He is the top of all gods. That kind of Mudalvan. He is the first. So, Muttamil Adaivinai Murpadu Giridhanil Murpada எழுதிய Mudalvane. O primal Lord who wrote the Tamil grammar at the Meru mountain. And then next phrase is Muppuram eri seida Achivan urai radam Achadu podi seida Atidira. We know the story of Tripura Samharam, where the Devas were troubled by the three Asuras and their three flying forts, and they went to pray to Shiva, and Shiva said, okay, I will go to battle with those things, but I need a chariot. So the Devas create a humongous chariot, with the earth as the platform of the chariot, and the sun and moon as the wheels of the chariot, and the four Vedas as the horses, and Brahma as the charioteer, and all the various Devas as the various parts of the chariot. And Shiva takes the Meru mountain as his bow. He ties Vasuki snake as the string on that bow. And then he takes the arrow, which is made up of Agni, Vishnu and Vayu. Agni as the tip, Vishnu as the shaft, and Vayu as the fletchings at the end of the arrow. So with that, Shiva was ready to go to fight the war with the three forts. At the time, the Devas were feeling very haughty, they were thinking, hey, very pride. They are full of pride, Hey, even Shiva cannot go to battle without our help. Shiva knew that instantaneously, and as soon as he stepped foot on the chariot, the axle breaks and the whole thing crumbles. And Shiva looks at it and lets out a big laughter. And as soon as he laughs, the three forts get burnt out. He doesn't even shoot the arrow. That story we know. And here, in one of the accounts, the tradition, here is what Arunagirinatha is saying is that, when they went to battle, fight the battle with the three forts, they forgot to worship Ganesha. And because they forgot to worship Ganesha, Ganesha caused the axle to break down. That's how he attributes it. That's what he is saying. Muppuram eri seida Achivan. The Shiva who burned down the three forts, Achivan, Urai Radam, the Ratham on which he was going to fight, that Rathams, that chariots, Ach is the axle, Podi Seida is breaking or to destroy or to crumble. So, Atidira is the great Dhiran. Dhiram is, braveness, that kind of thing. So, is addressing Ganesha, oh great Dhira, oh great warrior, or great brave soul, or that the god who is very brave, who caused the axle to break down, crumble. That's how he's putting the reason why the axle broke was because of Ganesha's action. And then in the fourth line, Attuyaradu kodu Suppira Manipadum Appuna Madanade Ibamagi Akkura Magaludan Achiru Murugane Akkanam Manamarul Perumale. This refers to Subramania Valli marriage. Subramania, as you know, has two consorts, Devanai or Devayanai and Valli. Devayanai is Indra's daughter, and after Subramania fought did the battle with Surapadma and his clan, after he defeated them, Indra gives Devayanai in marriage to Subramania. That celestial wedding occurs at Tirupparangundram. But Valli, the other consort. She is a girl who is being raised by a chief of a hunter tribe. And Subramania comes seeking her. So one day she will be in the hilly tracts where they have this thinai is one of those crops that they grow in the mountainous regions. And Valli will be guarding the crop, because the birds will come and feed on the crop. So she will be guarding the crops so that when the birds come, she will shoo them away and do all that. So when she was there, Subramania comes there as various forms, right? He will come as a young man and he will try to woo her, and then her father comes. As soon as her father comes, Subramania will become like a tree, and the father goes away, and then he will again become a old man, and he will say, I'm hungry, I want water, whatever, right? So he plays games with her and he wants her to marry him, and she refuses. And then Subramania thinks of Ganesha, and Ganesha comes as a wild elephant. And as soon as the wild elephant comes attacking them, Valli will be frightened by that elephant, and she will, Subramania will say, he will not be in original form, right? He will be like an old man, right? So he will say, hey, I will make it go away if you marry me. She will say yes, and then he will shoo away the elephant will go away. And then, Subramania reveals himself and marries her. That's a Valli Kalyanam. So this story is referring here. Attuyar adugodu suppira manipadam appunam adinidai ibamagi. When Subramania was there in that hilly tract, wooing Valli, Tuyar is he was pining for Valli. That pining is called Tuyar in this context. So when Subramania was there in that hilly tract pining for Valli, you went as an elephant. Ibamagi. Ibam is elephant. You went there as an elephant, and then thereby helping Subramania marry Valli. Kurramagaludan. Kurramagal is the girl of a hunter tribe. That is referring to Valli. Achiru Murugane, the young boy Murugan, because Murugan is younger brother of Ganesha according to the tradition. So your younger brother. So Akkurra Magaludan Achiru Murugane, that little Muruga. Akkanam Manam Marul Perumale. Akkanam. Kanam is a Sanskrit word, Kshanam. At that instant, in that Kshanam, Manam Marul Perumale. Manam is Tamil word which means marriage. Thirumanam is commonly used, but Manam is also the same meaning. Kalyanam, marriage. So you went there as an elephant and helped Subramania and made Subramania and Valli get married. So all that is describing Ganesha's glory. And now we come to the last part of the first line. Yena vinai kaɗiḍēgum. When devotees worship you, saying all this glory, their karma will be destroyed. Vinay is Tamil word for karma. Kaɗiḍēgum will be gone quickly. Kaɗiḍu is quickly, yegum is be gone. So when devotees worship you, singing all this glory, their karma will be gone quickly. They will be free of their karma. So now the second line, mattamu maḍiyavam vaitthidum aran magan, that is where Arunagirinathar says, I am going to worship Ganesha. Mattamu maḍiyamum vaitthidum aran magan. That refers to Ganesha as the son of Shiva. Aran is Hara, Magan is son. Aran Magan is son of Hara, Shiva, and that Shiva wears Umattamalar and moon. Mattam is Umattamalar. Umattam, I don't know the exact English word. It's the name of a flower. Mattam is the name of a flower. And Madiyam is moon. So Shiva, who is wearing the Umattam flower and the moon, his son, Ganesha. And the next part, Marporu Tirul Puya Mada Yanai. That refers to Ganesha as an elephant form. Yanai in Tamil is elephant. Mada Yanai is Matam. Matam is the elephants will have that Matam in Sanskritam. It is from their temples, etc. There will be a rut. In English, I think they call it a rut. I think when so basically Matayana is male elephant. So Marporu Tirul Puya. Mal is strong. Poru is fight. Porudal is to fight. Tirul is globular, round. Puyam is bujam. So basically that Marporu Tirul Puya Madayana refers to Ganesha as having the form of a male elephant with strong arms. That's the meaning. Mal is strong. Tirul is round. Puyam is bujam, is shoulder. Strong arms. So it is referring to Ganesha as a very strong armed form. Mattala Vairanai. Mattalam is a musical instrument, a rhythmic instrument. You have seen mridangam. It's something like that. There are different kinds of drum instruments. In India you'll have you will see that they'll have a big round things with a face, the skin on top. So Mattalam is a very round rhythmic instrument. So the Ganesha's belly, we typically it's like a pot belly, right? You can see all the Ganesha Vigrahams. Ganesha will be shown as with a big bulging belly. So it's describing that belly, that big round belly. That is Mattala Vairanai. Vairu is belly. Uttami Pudalvanai. Uttami is Sanskrit word. Here it refers to Parvati, Uma. Pudalvan is son. So earlier he says Mattamu Madhiyamum Vaitidum Aran Magan, son of Hara. Now he says son of Uma, Parvati's son. That son, Mattu Avil Malar Kodu Panivene. Panivene is I will worship. I am doing Namaskaram. I will worship that Ganesha with fragrant flowers. Mattu means fragrance. Avil is to spread. Malar is flower. Kodu is with. So Mattu Avil Malar Kodu with fragrant flowers. Panivene. I will worship. So this the song what he's saying is summary is describing Ganesha having written the Tamil grammar when Agastya narrated it. Ganesha broke the axle of the chariot when Shiva went to fight the three forts. Ganesha helped Subramanian marry Valli by going as an elephant in the forest where Valli was there. And Ganesha has all kinds of eatables on his hand and he eats them heartily. And he has got an elephant face. And he dwells in the hearts of all the devotees who worship him. And he is like a kalpaka vriksham, granting all the boons of the devotees. So that Ganesha, who is the son of Shiva and Parvati, I worship that Ganesha with fragrant flowers. That is the meaning of this song. I know it's a long song and a lot of things were said. So any comments, questions, doubts, anything you have, you can ask now.
Sir,
Go ahead, Pavani.
Sir, Karpagam, you said the Kalpavriksham.
Correct.
Is it so, sir?
Yes.
Okay. It is in Tamil Nadu. People will have it as a name, right?
Correct. Kalpagam is a vriksham, and it's also like in Mylapore, Madras, there is a famous temple in Mylapore, Kapaleshwara temple, and there the Ambal's name is Karpagambigai.
Okay.
So Karpagam is because of that. It will be not necessarily from the name of the tree. It could be, but the Ambal in Mylapore is also known as Karpagambal.
Okay.
But it comes from the same root. Karpagam means giving whatever one wishes for, etc. A great thing.
Okay.
You had a question?
The other one, I had a question
yes.
on this. Owl is flat. There's a meaning, or it's owl is flat, but in short is owl akki is rice, right? Owl akki. Right?
Yeah, in Tamil it's called owl. In Telugu it may be called owl akki. Or in Kannada it may be called owl akki, right?
Yeah, Kannada it's called owl akki, and Telugu it's atukulu, right? So
atukulu, right? Atukulu, correct. Yeah. Atukulu, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So akki in Kannada is rice. Owl akki is, they use that in Tamil it's only called owl.
Okay.
Because that form is called owl, so they don't have to add rice to that.
Okay.
Yeah, and the pori is puffed rice.
Right.
Yes, Atmarama, did you have a comment or question? Okay.
I had a question.
Yeah.
Is this version of the Tripura Samharam story where Vināyagar breaks the chariot, is this elaborated or referenced in any other Shastra, Purana, or poem at all? It's very different.
In the Puranas, there will be same event may be described differently in different Puranas. Okay, and sometimes each Puranam is highlighting one form of God, right? If it's a Vishnu, the Purana is glorifying Vishnu, they will say it some way. If the Purana is glorifying Shiva, it will say it some way. If the Purana is glorifying Ganesha, it will say it that way, right? So the same thing may be described differently, and there are multiple stories about each one of them. So this is one version of that story. Why the axle broke? See, the Shiva going to battle with the three forts and the axle breaking and Shiva laughing and burning. That's common. But why the axle broke? The reason for the breaking of the axle that is interpreted differently. So in the Shiva Paramana Puranams, right, the Puranams that make Shiva as the primary thing, glorifying Shiva, there it will be highlighted as the Devas were feeling haughty, that they had to help, even Shiva could not go to battle without their help. So in order to remove that haughtiness, Shiva causes the axle to break. Whereas in Ganesha related things, they put it this way. That is the difference.
Great, thank you.
Okay, any other comments or questions? Otherwise, we'll go to the next verse. But before we go to the next verse, I think I wanted one of you to read it, right? Maybe Chakravarti didn't get a chance, I think. So Chakravarti, can you read the first half of the song?
Yeah. Kaiththalam, niṛaikani, yappamodu, ḍavalpori, kappiya karimugan, adipēṇik, kaṭriḍu, maḍiyavar, puttiyi, luṟaibava, kappiya, menavinai, kaṭriḍu, egum, mattamu,
Mattamu.
Right. Mattamu, right. Mattamu, mudiyamum vaithidum aranmagan morpuru tiralpuya madayanai mattala vairanai uttami pudalvanai mattu avil malarkodu panivene muttamil.
Yeah, I will have I will have Atma Rama read the second half of that song.
Yeah,
that way everybody gets to. Atma Rama, can you read from Muttamil? Yeah.
Okay. Muttamil ஆடவினை முற்படு கிரிதனில் முற்பட எழுதிய முதல்வோனே முப்புறம் எரி செய்த அச்சிவன் ஒரே ரதம் அச்சது பொடி செய்த அரிதீர அத்துய அது கொடு சுப்பிர மண்ணி பாடும் அப்புறம் அதனிடை இபமாகி அக்குற மகளுடன் அச்சிறு முருகனை அக்கணம் மணமாருள் பெருமாளே.
Good. So just to summarize the rhythmic aspect of the song, I've given that pattern on the top: tattana, tanadana, tattana, tanadana, tattana, tanadana, tanadāna. That is the syllabic pattern that will be applied in the song. In all tiruppugaẓ songs, each song will have some syllabic pattern that will be repeated multiple times in the song. So, in the word separated version, I sometimes split the sandhi to make it easy to read. But when they sing it with the thalam, they will sing it with the syllabic pattern approach. So, mattu avil, for example, together will come as mattavil when singing. You will hear it when you play the audio later. Okay, and similarly, the tattana, where it has to have that strong consonant. Kaittalam, appa, kapp, kat, put. That kind of that consonant will come. So that's why it is very tough to write such poetry. Just information for you. And this kind of constraints don't exist in poetry of any other language. I have not come across in Indian languages or any other languages for that matter.